Hey guys, it's Michael and Yemisi. Today we're in Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia. Not a lot of people visit here, but we think Cambodia is an amazing country. It's gonna get a little heavy today, but we're also gonna have a lot of fun and eat some delicious food. So come along with us as we explore Phnom Penh. Good morning from Phnom Penh. Okay, so we are in Cambodia. We're in Phnom Penh, which is the capital of the country, and we are starting today off on a very important but pretty upsetting note. It'd be impossible to come to Cambodia, which is an incredible country, without talking about the fact that this country has recently gone through an incredibly horrendous genocide. And one of the main things that everybody does in Cambodia is recognize the suffering of the people from the genocide by visiting the killing fields, which we'll explain more about in a second.
Even though it's kind of a sad start, it's very important to remember the history that this country has went through and how they have overcame it.
So we definitely want to be respectful. So we're not going to talk while we're inside the killing fields, but I'll do a voiceover after we get out explaining kind of the history of the genocide and how that's shaped the country. This section of the vlog contains mentions of genocide, murder, and footage of burial grounds and human remains. If you can't handle that right now, I understand, so skip 2 sections ahead to where we get some breakfast. Visiting the killing fields is really challenging. There's a guided audio tour which I highly recommend you listen to, as it shares the stories of many survivors who lived through and lost loved ones during the genocide. It's honestly a beautiful property, and if just visiting this place is so emotionally draining, you can only even get a small glimpse of how awful and terrible it must have been to have lived through this. The Cambodian genocide is within living memory and is the 3rd largest genocide in human history. But the museum was very well done and did a lot to explain how this happened and what we can learn from it. Okay, so we just got done at the Genocide Museum, and obviously I knew it was going to be really heavy, but wow, that is heavy. Between 2 and 3 million people died during the genocide, and 20,000 of which died here. This is the country's official place of recognition and a memorial for all of the people who died during the genocide. There's a stupa in the middle that houses skulls of the victims. There are mass graves, some of which still have fragments and cloth left in them because there's just so much of it. There's some really terrible things that happen here that honestly I'm not even sure I can put on YouTube. But yeah, it's definitely a really challenging place to visit, but really, really important to learn about this history. So I'm really glad that we came. All right, so we've left the killing fields and we are now getting ready to enter S21, which is the notorious prison camp that is a school that was converted into a top security prison, basically, where thousands of people were tortured and killed. I think they had a 99% kill rate. So an incredibly dark place and an incredibly important place for the history of Cambodia.
Okay, so we just finished walking through the S21 prison. There are survivors who have books that says their stories, and I can't even imagine being a survivor and coming back here. It's a lot to digest, and I think it's very important, to learn about the history of the country that you're coming to as well, even if it's dark. So I definitely recommend coming here. So we are at Ang Eng getting traditional Cambodian breakfast, which is basically rice, egg, cucumber, and pork. Oh, look at this egg. It's going to be ooh. Wow. This is really good. I can't have this for breakfast every day. If not, I'm going to gain so much weight. We are in a tuk-tuk on our way to River Quay. Honestly, the best way to get around Phnom Penh is taking tuk-tuk. Unless you're going somewhere far away, I recommend taking a grab car.
All right, we are here at the Riverside Quay. This is just a large walking area that's on the riverside, kind of all the way down through past all the important stuff that we're going to be doing. So this is just kind of everywhere, and we're just here to enjoy.
It's just honestly a nice stroll, and it's just nice to look at the view that is over here.
We're just going to hang out here for a little bit. You're going to use the quay to walk to our next destination, which is a coffee shop. Okay, so we just left Brown and we got some delicious drinks and there's some good pastries there too. It honestly is really nice inside. Kind of reminds me of like a Starbucks vibe, but it's like local. Anyways, we walked around the corner and we're getting ready to head to a temple, but we accidentally walked by this tree, which is called the Flying Fox tree. Flying foxes is like a category of bats. They're the largest bats. They're called mega bats. They can grow like quite large for a bat, and they eat fruit and they're really cute. If you've ever seen that famous gif of the bat eating the banana, that's the kind of bat they are. They're cute and they're all over this tree. There's so many of them. So yeah, it's a very interesting sight, I guess, but on to the temple.
We are at Wat Phnom, which was built in the 1300s. This is the highest.
This is the highest Buddhist place.
So we are on our way to our next destination, but since we're already here, we're just like, okay, why not do this today? So here we are.
I don't know much about this temple, to be honest, although my initial impressions is that Cambodian temples give very strong Thailand resemblances, so I think it's kind of a similar cultural heritage.
Let's go check it out.
It's a little bit of a small temple, which is totally fine. I really like it a lot. You can see some of the offerings that people are setting down. It's like makeup and cigarettes and stuff, which I don't know that I've seen in a temple recently. I get the impression this is a little bit more on the chill side, but it's still really cool. And there's a nice view sort of down over the street. Phnom Penh is a really flat city, so this is legitimately one of the highest points in the city that you can get to that's not like a tall building. So yeah, it's really cool. I enjoyed this a lot.
Okay, so even though we haven't been to Siem Reap or Angkor Wat, this temple is very small. And honestly, I feel like coming to Phnom Penh, you're getting a small taste of Cambodia. So here, you could probably spend, honestly, easily 30 minutes. It's very small. It's very easy to walk around compared to a lot of other temples that we've been to.
Ourselves in a mall. It always happens. We always find ourselves in a mall.
But this is a nice mall and has Cold Stone. Oh, we're at Aeon Mall. This is the newest mall in Cambodia.
Apparently, Japan has built separate malls here. I think Aeon is a Japanese brand, but
I got my Cold Stone. Being here, honestly, I don't know what country I'm in. I'm really like, this does not feel like Cambodia.
Some interesting flavors here too. They have jackfruit, which is not a normal Cold Stone flavor. She always gets cake batter and chocolate chips. This is the MRC special.
So we're at this restaurant, which I found by Mark Lee. So they have a very exotic, interesting menu. But honestly, it's been like a childhood dream of mine to eat interesting foods in a foreign country. So we ordered fried eel with herbs and then sweet and sour cow penis. I'm really excited. I think it's gonna taste like intestines.
It looks really good. Yeah, it looks like intestines. You like it?
Wow.
Is it good?
It tastes like intestines.
Okay, so Yamasi just tried the cow penis. Now I'm going to try the fried eel. It has like herbs and stuff with it too. It looks really good actually. Man, before we came to Cambodia, I knew I was going to like the food. It tasted just as good as it looks. Oh my gosh. It's crispy on the outside, soft on the inside. Tons of flavor, so savory. And all the herbal, that's so good. Oh my gosh.
So now we finally got our last course, which is goat with ants, fried big black ants. So I'm gonna take a bite. I got a piece. I think the ants are more for a texture thing maybe, so let's try. That goat just melts in your mouth. And honestly, the ants is kind of like a texture thing. So it's kind of like how you have sunflower seed shell, like kind of that kind of feeling, I guess I can relate to. But I've eaten bugs before, so it tastes similar, but it's really good.
We had eel, sweet and sour cow penis, and goat with black ants. And oh my gosh, it was all delicious. This is one of the best meals I've had in quite a while. This is like one of my favorite foods from this entire region of the world, especially the goat with the black ants. Is so good.
Cambodia dessert.
Oh, really? You have this traditional Cambodian dessert, which is like a jelly, and I'm gonna try it. That's really good, actually. Really refreshing. I don't know exactly what the English name is, but I'll put an English translation here. Okay, we are now at Juniper Rooftop Gin Bar, which is just a bar that I found after scrolling a lot. A lot of the times in cities we go to rooftop bars, there aren't a lot of them here, but this was one of the ones that struck me because of the amazing view. It's really small, there's only like maybe 15 or 20 seats, and we got here right at the end of happy hour, so we both got a gin cocktail right at the end of happy hour. So the view is actually really good, and the atmosphere is so chill and quiet, and I'm really in love.